Go crazy.
This is JulyZerg.
It's actually not loud enough. We want more. Okay, you guys passed this time.
All right, we'll let it go.
Okay, so the game is starting, and we're going to get this going. Yeah, literally, the countdown has started. It's going to be Kiwikaki against JulyZerg. This is going to be very interesting. JulyZerg has his own unique, hyper-aggressive style, whereas Kiwikaki is like the mad scientist. Protoss, so many different builds, generally tailored to take his opponent out in a very specific way. Over here in the upper right, we have the legend, nicknamed the God of War from StarCraft 1, JulyZerg. Easily in StarCraft 1, one of the top 3 greatest Zergs of all time.
No doubt about that,
no doubt.
Aceless.
A lot of people still cheering for the guy, but don't forget about the other guy, excuse me, in the bottom right, our Protoss player. We have Kiwikaki.
A lot of Kiwikaki fans out there. Or if you're Chef Kiwikaki.
So, this is a pretty interesting map, 4-player map. There's a
Typhon Peaks. I think you and I haven't casted yet, have we?
No, we have not.
No,
not
but this
times
map
are changing.
It's pretty interesting for this matchup, especially here, Tasteless. You know, there's those rocks next to the expansion that you can do a really quick rush distance, you know, if it's up and down spots like it is. But normally that isn't used. So one of the interesting things as well is how and where does Protoss take a third base?
Yeah,
normally it's going to be that low
question.
ground, but you know that leaves a lot of movability for Zerg.
Certainly so. And the other thing I always think when I see this map is the screaming face, the eye here, and the mouth. You can never unsee that. I'm sorry I had to ruin that experience for you guys. So the gateway is on the way. Note the positioning here. We've got to talk to the nubs for a minute. He's making the entrance here a little bit smaller. You can put a few more structures in there, and it can make a small hallway that's very difficult for large amounts of Zerglings, for instance, to get in and out of.
That is quite true, Tasteless. JulyZerg going for a speed-first build, as he most of the time does do. He likes to play a pretty safe style. You know, he got cheesed a lot during the open bracket, and he kind of assumed that would happen, but now he is seeded into group play, into Kiwikaki's group, so he's going to have to be careful, but not as careful. Kiwikaki won't necessarily cheese him. Kiwikaki is a player that can actually play a real game against JulyZerg and potentially win.
Looks like JulyZerg has found him. To his luck, he did not scout the direction this Overlord scouted at initially. He scouted to the bottom, so we will get in there and see that in fact there is no Fast Forge Expand going on. 2 gases for Kiwikaki. That still means there's a lot of different options, a lot of different strategies that he can employ here to take his opponent on. This drone now will move down here and start his career choice as a hatchery.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
And you know what I think that we're going to see from JulyZerg here, Tasteless, is the Roachling aggression against any expansion Kiwikaki does. I think he realizes this map, above all others, it is hard to hold that off. The natural is just so wide open, it takes like a bajillion buildings to actually make a wall. So I would not be surprised if he opens with maybe a Void Ray to make sure that the Roaches can't just come in and kill his Nexus.
But you got to be careful because sometimes Massling Roach can still overcome somebody with a Void Ray. Of course, getting a Phoenix after the Void Ray can also be incredibly effective, considering you know, the Phoenix can pick up Queens. If JulyZerg tries to sneak additional expansions, it can be pretty powerful.
But in fact, he starts another Sentry, so that points us towards him doing a 2 to 3 Warp Gate expansion, very Sentry heavy. This is exactly what JulyZerg would want him to do if he plans to do the Roachling aggression. In fact, notice he's still mining with 1 drone, some gas. Definitely means that he can transition to Roach, and a Roach Horn being put down somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Meanwhile, the expansion will just now complete, and this is where the second Queen will be occupied. Larva injecting the hatchery. And what do we have here? Second gateway. Up.
And looks like he is going to do probably a Nexus cancel here.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if JulyZerg is planning what we were just talking about, Tasteless, that is still a good build to do against the Nexus cancel build. So basically what's going to happen, Kiwikaki is going to most likely start a Nexus and then cancel it at the last second. Just use that extra money to power his 4 Warp Gates, to make more units, and to hit JulyZerg when he doesn't know it's coming.
Yeah, this is a very smart strategy. Basically what you're doing is you're making a bunch of sentries first. That allows you to use up the majority of your gas and not so much of your minerals. You make that nexus. Generally, Zerg will think, oh, okay, of course, he's going to go ahead and just do a standard 3-gate expand. Then at the last second, you cancel it and you use that money to make stalkers.
Yep. So we are going to see. It definitely looks like that is what is going on here. There is a slim possibility that Kiwikaki is actually just making extra units off the 4 warp gates to make sure he doesn't die to any Roachling play. And in fact, JulyZerg, he's not going to do any of these super high aggressive things. He is actually going to get a lair.
Lots of sentries still out here, continuing to make pylons, powering these gateways. We'll see at the last second if he does decide to cancel this or not. It's a tough call. You can, as Artosis said, also just use those additional gateways to crank out a few sentries and play defensively. Kiwikaki is a pretty unpredictable player, and now we know hallucination, exactly. So he's probably not going to do any kind of 4-warp gate rush. That
is the mad scientist for you. He does something, you look at it, you're like, well, all the top players do something just like this. This is probably what's going to be. And he's like, well, no, you know, I'm going to do something totally weird and different because I'm Kiwikaki, and that's what I do.
So he's going to move out now. Poking out. He wants to get rid of any Zergling. The Zerg need to infest this thing. What is this? It's a male Cockroach. How do you know if it's not a female Cockroach? I don't know. Now here comes the Zergling. He's gotten inside the base, and this is pretty impactful.
Yeah, he's going to see exactly what's going on, and if he does end up scouting all 4 warp gates, it looks like he is going to, in fact. So now he's going to realize, oh, I need to start making units. He already has Bro on the way. Hallucination is about to finish for Kiwikaki. I am actually really excited to see what he does with his hallucination. He might just scout with it and play a macro game. And in fact, look at that, a Robo starting on the production tab, Tasteless.
Assimilator, double Assimilator. It's going to be a little bit of a passive game for the time being as both players mass up. Now, for the newbies out there, what the point of this Phoenix is that obviously JulyZerg isn't attacking. These sentries have a ton of additional energy. Why not use them to make a fake Phoenix? You can use that to scout. It's essentially free at this point in time. And that allows you to see exactly what the Zerg is up to and respond accordingly.
And, you know, that's what you have to do, man. JulyZerg is such a fierce competitor. He is taking another base, taking that low ground third.
Let's see if the Phoenix sees it. You know, there's a lot going on. Oftentimes they use the Phoenix to try to find out if there's a Spire, but in this case, it would behoove him to check that upper location on the map. And in fact, this Queen might chase this Phoenix.
That Phoenix wants to kill Overlord so bad, Tasteless. It doesn't do any damage, though.
I know. That's a very ambitious Phoenix.
I feel bad. It's just in the Protoss' dream. He thinks he's real. He's not.
Another hallucinated Phoenix moving out now, and we will have Colossus tech. Now, in this close proximity, you can actually destroy the destructible rocks there. As you can see, they're very close, and it's going to be pretty tough for a Zerg to take you on. You certainly can't surround him at that level.
Certainly, and it looks like JulyZerg may get aggressive here. But that is probably not a good idea. There are so many sentries, he can just dictate that battle completely and crush those units.
He may very well just want the Protoss to make additional cannons as JulyZerg makes additional drones. Right now, Kiwikaki's still in the dark about that expansion, although, you know, he's a good player. He might be able to sort of assume that there must be some expansion there. It would not make JulyZerg, it would not make sense for JulyZerg to stay like that for much longer.
And he's got to be very careful with these roaches. Does get them away there, but if they go just a little bit too close, then, you know, there's going to be force fields all over the place, and they're going to die.
They will die, and as you can see, he continues to drop changelings in here to try to get more intel, JulyZerg is, on exactly what kind of unit composition his opponent has. Meanwhile, we have Colossus on the way. Back in the Zerg's base, we have Baneling's Nest and Aspire.
Pretty cool, Tasteless. He has that nice firm foundation of roaches, as you see here, just kind of running around, and he is going to supplement it greatly, making 12 mutas right now.
Now with 12 mutalisks on the way here, Kiwikaki, at the moment the Kiwikaki moves out,
this is something July does just so greatly. That's right, and
whoa!
In fact, he decides to attack in.
Big mistake there, Kiwikaki not having any of that.
You know, what he wants to do is just counterattacks to make the mutas really do their job. You know, Kiwikaki's going to want to hit a timing.
Look, there are no cannons in the Protoss' base to defend against mutalisks. Meanwhile, back here, he is more than prepared if the Mutalisks attack and Kiwikaki panics, attempting to run towards his opponent's base. JulyZerg will be prepared.
Baneling speed on the way as well. Here come the Mutas, Tasteless, and they're going to start taking out a lot of probes. Kiwikaki is not going to be happy with this. The tech route he has chosen is weak against Mutas, warping in a lot of Stalkers, but they do not have Blink.
They might get cornered here. They're going to suffer a ton of damage. And as I said, that only one died. Okay. Kiwikaki's got pretty solid defense. You really only have one shot to pull that off with Protoss. After that, you can get cannons up, and it's tougher to do that with Mutalisks.
Well, he has pretty much stopped Mutalisk production, just one making, but another base for Kiwikaki going up. Going to go down with his Mutas, try to harass it a little bit, maybe kill the probe, maybe get the pylon, you know, just do whatever harassment he can possibly do.
He's going to go and counterattack, hoping he's going to be forced to turn around, but this is some pretty solid defense.
Baneling's speed is almost done. Tasteless, more and more Banelings being made, and it looks like he may do a counterattack or he may flank. We're going to see exactly what July wants to do.
Counterattack.
July loves this style of play, forcing Kiwikaki to come back, giving July more time to make more units, and losing almost nothing in the process. JulyZerg buying a Kiwikaki. But from behind, a lot of Lings, a lot of Mutas, but does he have enough to break through this all?
Uh-oh, here they come!
More and more Roaches, and JulyZerg rolling through the defenses of Kiwikaki. It looks like he may end up holding this just barely. Just a few Roaches left, a lot of them in the red.
But that's going to be enough to put, you know, Kiwikaki in an almost impossible to get out of position. That was beautiful there by JulyZerg. We've seen him pull off these kind of strategies at the GSL at gomtv.net. And I think Kiwikaki right now is probably at somewhat of a loss as he made these cannons. JulyZerg saw it, identified it, and just went and attacked the army.
With just 5 Stalkers there, he's going to want to back up. You know, Kiwikaki, he only has the 2 bases still. He's going to run out of minerals in the main pretty quickly. And what does he have, man? He lost all his Colossus. He doesn't have Blink. He has no sentries. We should be seeing a GG pretty quickly here.
You know, Kiwikaki's build was good. Okay, that does it. And I don't know if Kiwikaki could stay in this. Beautiful. More Roaches on the way here. This will be reinforced very soon by JulyZerg.
And, well, JulyZerg, his economy really hasn't been damaged. He's at 58 drones to 60 probes, and Kiwikaki once again trying to take a 3rd base. But he only has 79 supply total. Can he even hold these Roaches? Well, not with what he has right there.
All right, the Roaches come in here and take out the Stalkers. Now the Nexus is exposed. More and more Roaches pile in here. Overwhelming, cornering the Colossus. Yeah, I would say we should be seeing GG pretty soon here. There's no way you can really recover from this. Kiwikaki was unable to take a 3rd, attempted to do an all-in. A few pokes back and forth there from JulyZerg, put him in a bad position, and from there it's kind of costed him the game. Even
uses Burrow there, catches him out of position. Look at this, Zerglings coming in, and this should be it, Tasteless. Kiwikaki put up a good fight, but JulyZerg, his runarounds, his counterattacks, just too much. GG. JulyZerg takes game 1 after making it through the open bracket.
All right, guys, sit tight for just a second. We are going to go to the stage real fast. Sundance, wants to say something. So we'll be right back to cast this game in just a second.